Do you guys ever notice that when we're talking about inequality in the home and parenting with heterosexual couples, the woman still gets blamed? Right? Like if we're talking about a woman frustrated that her partner doesn't take an active role at home or doesn't have empathy for how frustrated or tired she is, you see the comments roll in of like, well, why didn't you choose better? Have you tried communicating? It couldn't possibly in any universe be on the guy. It's always on the woman. You noticed?
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
The reason why modern housewives are constantly getting blamed for this kind of stuff is because it's the woman who is constantly complaining about the so-called inequality in the home. 8 times out of 10, modern wives are filled with the kind of dookie that can fumigate an entire mansion twice over. I don't see how your husband can hold dominion over every aspect of your life and force you to do everything in the house while still allowing you to smear his good name in the process. The problem here is that you're butthurt over the fact that your marriage is boring and drama-free, and you cannot stand that. You forced yourself to be incapable of being happy or content with your life or family because your life didn't turn out the way you dreamed, so ultimately, you blame the man who uprooted and completely changed his life for you. And that's not his fault, sister. That's yours. And that's why you get blamed for this garbage. I hope I was able to clear that up for you. You're welcome.
Yeah, I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.
Okay, I have a question. And maybe this is a stupid question, but that hasn't stopped me in the past from asking my questions. My question here. You know, my brother was telling me about how in the gym, guys don't really approach girls, which, good. Don't approach me. Don't talk to me. Thank you. But so then, I was like, if we're supposed to approach guys, how do you know when a guy wants to be approached by a girl?
Okay, God! Let me have it!
Well, the answer to your stupid question is simple, lady. You don't know. You just walk up to a guy, shoot your shot, and if he rejects you, then you know. Men have been doing this for centuries. The only difference is that men are less likely to file a false claim against you with any authority figure that's willing to listen. The worst thing that'll happen to you is that he will sternly tell you to leave him alone. But apparently that response is so catastrophic to your life that it's too debilitating and men need to do all the work, even though you told them that the work would be in vain. Maybe you should have thought of that before demanding that men just leave you alone. But as we all know, modern women are so entitled that they're incapable of thinking before they actually do anything. That's why they think their feelings are a suitable replacement for verifiable facts.
You know, like, because girls, we'll give like the little ojitos, we'll give little signs. Like, you know, it'll be like we'll keep looking back. You're like, ah. But how do you know? Like, if you're a guy and you saw a pretty girl and you wanted her to talk to you because you don't want to talk to her, what do you do? Please let me know. That's what I'm curious about. Thank you.
I'll just move to North Korea. I'll just move to North Korea. Okay? Okay. I'll just move to North Korea.
Why is it that modern broads think the eye thing actually works? You'd think that if those kind of passive gestures actually worked, they would have had a dude get close enough for them to sink their claws. But even when this passive gesture fails time and time again, the modern woman fails to accept that it wasn't her lazy attempt at flirtation to blame, but it's the man's fault for not picking up on the radio waves that she was broadcasting from inside of her brain soul. Men will never give you passive signs like that. We're men. We're too busy maintaining society and wondering if they're going to make another Highlander sequel and secretly pray to the intergalactic space god Bloomashirt, all hail, that it never happens. Sorry, woman. You got what you wished for. Now it's your turn. So grow a pair and shoot your shot. Or don't and live the rest of your life alone. Either way, we couldn't care less anymore.
You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir.
I want to talk about the downsides of being a worker because I feel like no one talks about it.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
These are my own personal opinions, so don't get your panties in a bunch if you don't feel the same way. Being objectified constantly, especially like in the dating scene, and only being seen specifically for my looks, and that's it. It's like they don't think anything else goes on under here. It's just a gross feeling.
I don't care.
Okay, so you're a spice miner whose income is solely based on how well you're able to make yourself look like an object of a man's desires. It's almost as if making yourself an object for men to purchase is key for your marketing strategy. If only there was a word to describe how men judge you solely based on whether or not he deems you bangable. Man, if only there was a word to describe how men only see you as an object with which to scratch their itches and to pay you for such services. But what exactly are you expecting, woman? These men to connect with you emotionally before they try to find a room that can be paid for by the hour? Your entire business model is based on you being able to objectify yourself to men in order to make a profit. So you can't be shocked when all the men see is what you're publicly offering. They're not gonna wine and dine you first, sweetheart. There's no point. You cut out the middleman and you're passing the fun time straight to the client.
Also, the fact that I no longer enjoy, because I'm doing stuff like that every single day for work, to me, I just took the enjoyment out of it, and I don't even want to do it really in my personal life anymore.
All that I am saying is that I long for the days of the Virgin and the elegance of railway travel.
And what we have here is a clear-cut case of what working in the Naked Human Services Department does to a woman's brain. It has been proven time and time again that the more bodies a woman accumulates in her life, the more she's incapable of being able to emotionally bond with the man who inevitably settles for her damaged goods. And there's no better example than this broad right here. In order for a relationship to work, both parties must be able to enthusiastically enjoy the Tango del No Pants. And when your income is solely based on how many dance partners you can have on a daily basis, then the man is going to feel unappreciated and he's not going to be all that enjoyable. And if the man can't enjoy his woman, then there's really no point in being with her. She is incapable of enjoying him. So in other words, good luck dying alone, lady.
Other downsides are like your pictures and videos will be on the internet forever, but at the end of the day, that's not something that bothers me, and I don't know if it's something that bothers anyone else, but it is what it is. Also, the judgment that you receive from people is crazy. Like, it's just a job, like, relax. It's really honestly not that serious. I feel like a lot of the judgment comes from jealousy, and that's just my own opinion.
You hear what I said? Do you hear what I said? Hey, pal! Your excuses are your own.
Let's set the record straight, woman. Your job will never be accepted by society. There is a reason why what you do for a living is considered to be shameful. You publicly sell something that's considered incredibly private and used to be considered sacred. And regardless of how you feel, society will never accept that as normal. Yeah, sure, you're making good money, well, now, but what about in 5 years when your clientele are no longer interested in what little you have to offer? You are clearly terrible with money considering your lavish accommodations, so when that particular well runs dry, what are you gonna do? Self-respecting men won't want you because all they'll see is a woman who sold her soul for a quick influx of cash and was left destroyed physically and emotionally. And no man will be willing to share what he has with you when you have nothing worth sharing. That's what happens when you make that kind of a deal. You should have read the fine print before signing on that dotted line, sister, because there is always a catch.
Yes, I'm certain that I read that somewhere once.
You know, the bear discussion has become the most accurate and efficient litmus test for the men who won't even pretend they're the good ones. Because you learn so much based on how a dude responds to women saying they're choosing the bears. Because we do have good men who are listening and validating and asking what they can do to make this world safer. And then we have jabronis like this. Because when they're not telling us we're wrong about bears or, you know, threatening dismemberment, they're saying stuff like this. Which is just a lazy offset of the you need men to protect you. And you know, the funniest thing is I used to respond to men saying, well, you need us to protect you with protection from what? Bears? But see, here's the thing. You're not protecting us from bears. You're not protecting us from anything.
Really?
You know what? This bear question will never not be funny to me. Chicks like this claim that the question is to start a conversation about women's safety issues and the problems they have in society. But the second we try to chime in with a response, we get shot down with so much vitriol because we don't know what it's like to be a woman. To which I reply, how dare you assume my genderisms, you bigot. Now, these women don't want a conversation. That goes without saying. They want validation and to be told that they're stunning and brave, boss bae, yas queens who don't need no man. They will say that men are more dangerous than provoked grizzlies and that we have no business taking part in this discussion, and then they immediately accuse us of being terrible for not taking part in the discussion, which is an awfully convenient way to not have to defend an absurd argument when it comes to the subject of a bear attack.
Because study after study after study shows that the bystander effect is actually more prevalent in men. Meaning if something is going down, women are going to be the ones who are stepping in while men stand to the sidelines and watch. And when it comes to the bear, there are countless male comedians who have centered entire stand-ups on how they're not going to be saving their girlfriend when there is danger. Like the bear shows up and they trip their girlfriend in order to get away. And that's not accounting for all the men who swoop in to save the day and then assault the woman. And this is one of the many reasons women are saying we choose the bear, even if one of the outcomes is, we're not on this planet anymore.
That does not make sense.
Okay, so what exactly do you want men to do? You say that we're big and scary and that we need to leave you alone. But when the bad men attack you, you blame us for not protecting you. And even if we do rush in to try to help you, there is a chance that you'll still condemn us for not protecting you in the right way. I've actually read news reports where this was the case and the guy in question faces jail time. And even if a man does come to your aid, you will still be terrified of that man because apparently men just want to stop your attacker so they can attack you instead because apparently we're just that bloodthirsty. So yeah, when you set us up for that particular brand of failure, can you blame us for being reticent into diving into that particular fray? You set us up so that no matter what we do, there is a significant chance that we're going to face serious legal repercussions. And you're basing this off of bits from stand-up comics, woman, because as we all know, when a stand-up comic makes a joke about something, he's not joking. He's dead freaking serious.
Because aside from the fact that even the grizzly will leave you alone if you leave them alone, the bear is only going to be acting from a place of self-defense, and the bear is only going to end my life. There are countless stories circulating right now about the things that men have done to women where loss of life would have been an upgrade. Women have been shouting this for years now, and it's now getting amplified by the bear discussion. We don't want your protection. We want you guys to stop being so dangerous.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! Don't you put that on us!
Well, now I've heard it all, gentlemen and gents. We have a woman who's actually giving more credit to a bear than a man when it comes to self-defense. You heard her say it. If a bear attacks her, it's in self-defense, therefore it's justifiable. Now, you're saying that all a bear is going to do is end your life. And even though that is kind of true, it's going to be one of the most terrifying and painful ways to go. Not only that, but the odds of you having a dignified funeral and your family getting closure as they lay you to rest are fairly slim, and you'd rather have that happen to you than be forced to cite countless stories of men doing evil things to women. But who needs actual data, crime statistics, and verifiable facts to prove an outlandish argument when you have unsubstantiated claims, conjecture, emotional language, and your fifis, am I right?
Because again, that's what men are saying when they say, well, you need us to protect you. AKA, you need us to protect you from other men. And that sounds like a protection racket to me. Gee, that's a really lovely body you have there. It really would be a shame if, those other male organizations violated it. Might be a good idea if, you aligned with somebody who could protect you. By the way, I'm 5'10" and I throw a better right hook than most men I know. Yeah, comments like these just fortify why we're choosing the bear.
Well, it's awfully convenient that you created a scenario for yourself that no matter what the men do, they are always in the wrong. If we don't help you, it's because we're lazy bystanders. If we do help you fight off an attacker, it's because we want to be the ones who get to attack you. And in the event that isn't true, we're still evil because apparently all men are members of the mafia. Why would we risk our lives to help you if you're just gonna ruin them in our stead? I don't think you realize that you're an ostrich living in a sandy bubble. Just because you don't see the men directly protecting you doesn't mean that they aren't there. You just refuse to admit that they exist. It's just easier for you to say that we're all dangerous. Well, fine then. Don't worry about it. You clearly have your own protection covered. I'm sure your ability to throw a punch with a padded glove in your weekly kickboxing class will serve you well out in the real world. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Leave a couple of comments, maybe ring the notification bell, and share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Keep on staying strong and don't abandon all hopes, gentlemen and gents, because I am fairly certain no one's gonna be dumb enough to try to resurrect Highlander. I hope. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.